Communities are actually the avenue to continued conservation. All Pejeta Conservancy sits on 90,000 acres. We have just around the Conservancy about 56,000 people who are either pastoralists or smallholder farmers.
People surrounding this place, they benefit through this conservation because their children, they are sponsored by the conservation area. And the other thing is that the money we get from here through tourism, they benefit from that.
Hao watu wa community enyewe ni watu tunakaa na karibu nao. Kama sahi kama anaona maneno mbaya anatujulisha. Pejeta anasaidia hao sana. Anasaidia, anapatia maji. Anasaidia hata kwa mali yao.
We engage with these communities. We see what support they can put in so that there is always a sense of ownership.
People-animal conflict is one of a crucial job that we do here because we try to make good relationship with people outside the conservation area and animals.
With the increase in human population, people end up living on what was previously wildlife habitat.
Sort of economic losses and the livelihood losses and the resentment that builds against wildlife is huge. Definitely having an impact right now, but could easily be reversed. And the way it'll be reversed is if people begin to support the presence of wildlife more, and that can't happen whilst human-wildlife conflict remains such a massive issue.
Although mitigation has been put in place to avert such conflict, it still exists. We have a fence around the Conservancy, but sometimes we'll have baboons, we'll have wild pigs, we have elephants breaking the fence.
Huwa tunaambia watu ya kwamba kama mnyama amekosa hatuwezi subuana watu sana ama kuwa mnyama. Huwa tuko na ile njia ya kurudisha na tuambie watu pia hii ni mali yetu. Si ati hii mali ni ya watu ambao kwa badani peke yake. Pia hata community ambao tuko naye hii mali ni yao.
We have to have support from the community because community is your number one security. Anything that will happen to Pejeta have to come in and out through the community.
They have helped us in the side of security because if you go to the other side, you are hearing there are people who are stealing goats. But because of the security here, nothing is disturbing us.
About 10 years ago, a lot of the schools here were not very well off infrastructure-wise. In Irura, the school started from basically a couple of ramshackle buildings that were letting in the cold. But today, we have several permanent classrooms.
The difference is there is a lot of comfort. Pupils enjoy learning in those classrooms.
Last year, we provided 2 huge solar systems to schools which are able to completely run all the power needs for the school. With the improved cooking stoves project, this is a creative way of promoting conservation because we have stoves which are built in such a way that they reduce the amount of firewood that is used for cooking. We work with 6 dispensaries and these are government owned. We facilitate provision of medical equipment and supplies. We've been working with community health workers, facilitating their movement and also supporting them in terms of the supplies because these are sort of on the move kind of health workers. The communities are mainly farmers, so then it becomes important to promote the ability of the households to store water for agriculture as well.
When a family can depend on a kitchen garden and they can give a balanced diet to their kids, then there's a lot of other emerging advantages because kids are comfortable, they can go to school because they are well fed.
We work with farmer groups, which is a huge section because most of the community members are actually farmers. So we promote best practices. Because of the productivity that emerges out of the best practices that we train farmers on around agriculture, we provide a market for these farmers as a way of encouraging them into an agribusiness kind of model. As much as we have the communities benefiting and appreciating the role of Pejeta also appreciates the role of communities. Often we've had information ahead of time to avert the killing of a rhino, for example. And it's something to really appreciate coming from the communities.
The way we view community work is that it's not really about projects. It is about projects, but it's much more about having a really deep and meaningful relationship with the community.